Ask the Messenger's TV show is a TV show that educates, informs, and entertains our viewers on public health issues such as mental illness, suicide, addiction, illness and disease, COVID-19 relief, crime, domestic violence, homelessness, human trafficking, employment opportunities, healthcare, and more. And now, Ask the Messengers.
Hello, I'm Dr. Miriam Delphin-Rittman, Assistant Secretary for Mental Health and Substance Use in the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, a time when the nation comes together to help spread the word about the vital role mental health plays in our overall well-being. At SAMHSA, we remain fully committed to increasing access to mental health services and supports across the country. We want everyone to know that people with mental health conditions can experience recovery and live full, whole, meaningful lives. And we can all play active roles in caring for our mental health. Practicing self-care, asking for help when needed, and checking in with ourselves and people around us all can make a difference. If you're looking for services in your community, visit our online resource at findtreatment.gov. Or if you or someone you know is in crisis, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org for help 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Today on Ask the Messengers, our guest is Dr. Casey Joseph from Michigan Behavioral Medicine. Dr. Joseph is certified by American Board of Psychiatry and Neurology, board certified in addiction psychiatry, and board certified in geriatric psychiatry. He is here to discuss mental health issues and to talk about some of the alternative treatments they provide. Plus, an author series featuring Barbara Santiago, who is the author of the book, My Autism Sentiment Diary. Ask the Messengers begins now.
My name is Julia and I'm 19 years old. In 2017, was diagnosed with major depressive disorder. I almost lost this battle. I didn't think it was gonna get better, but it did. I've had anxiety since I was a little kid. I always had this feeling that something terrible was gonna happen, and that presented itself in tightness in my chest. I'd get really shaky. I would have a lot of stomach pain. Those were the physical ways that it came out. For the longest time, I didn't know that was my anxiety. I just knew that was something that happened to me. Around middle school, I started to get depressed, and it progressively got worse as I got into high school. Everything just seemed kind of gray. And a lot of worthlessness too. I don't have anything to offer. From the outside, I think I hid it pretty well. I was a straight-A student. I hung out with my friends. I babysat all the time. I was involved in my church youth group. I didn't let people see that there was something going on. That was what stayed closed behind my bedroom door. Things started to feel more heavy. I started to self-harm as a way to cope. I started having suicidal ideation. I told my mom, I don't think I can keep myself safe. And I know my parents were shocked when they knew how bad it actually was. It was on a Sunday night. My mom called Children's, their hotline. I was evaluated by a social worker. And I think it was honestly the first time I was completely open about what was happening. And I told my social worker that I didn't necessarily want to die, and I knew that I needed a break from what was happening, from all the things I was feeling, and death seemed like the only option. And I just remember crying to her and being like, I don't know what else to do. Like, I'm stuck. Here I was, completely broken. I could barely see the point in staying alive. I felt so ashamed of myself. And these people, they just treated me like a person. I felt validated and I had some hope, and I knew that okay, when I ask for help, help is given and it works. And I knew that this break I was looking for could be found in a hospital room instead of dying. Today, I am in remission from my depression for the first time in who knows how long. I'm getting to know parts of me that aren't just anxious and depressed Julia. I'm clean from self-harm. I'm majoring in social work, and I really want to work in behavioral health with children, specifically in a crisis or inpatient setting. I started to become really passionate about advocating once I made it to the other side, because I almost didn't make it. You're not at fault for where you are right now. It's okay to be afraid, but I don't want you to give up. Because the thing about depression is it lies. You know, you gotta fight to be here, because it does get better. And all of these lies will eventually go away. You just have to hold on, because it doesn't get to win. It doesn't get to take you. Because you're stronger than that, and you're worth more than that, and it's possible.
Today, 1 in 5 working-age Americans has a mental health condition.
People in all types of jobs and at all levels.
And the key to helping us succeed is a supportive and inclusive workplace.
All of us have a role to play in making that happen.
So what can I do to help?
As a CEO, I can set the tone for supportive culture.
As a manager, I can offer assistance and accommodations.
As a coworker, I can listen and be a source of support to my colleagues.
As someone with a mental health condition, I can ask for what I need to perform my best.
I can offer all employees the supports they need to deliver on the job. For the team
and for the business.
What can I do?
What can I do?
What can I do?
I can remind others
That we all benefit from workplaces that promote good mental health.
mental health-friendly workplaces are more important than ever.
And all of us have a role to play in promoting them.
When we return, Dr. Casey Joseph. He is a certified by the American Board of Psychiatry for Michigan Behavioral Medicine. He is here to talk about the importance of mental health awareness and how they help those who are dealing with mental health issues. Ask the Messengers. We'll be right back. This is Tina Nelson for Ask the Messengers, and we are back, and we have been shedding some spotlight on Mental Health Awareness Month. But right now, it's my honor to have Dr. Joseph, who is the lead psychiatrist for Michigan Behavioral Medicine, with 2 locations, one in Livonia and also in Troy. So, Dr. Joseph, thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate having you. How long have you been in the mental health field?
I've been a psychiatrist for the last 30 years or so. So I'm in private practice at this point, but I used to work with the hospital system too.
So Mental Health Awareness Month, what does that mean to you? You know, we all hear about Awareness Month. What is so significant about the focus for this month?
I think it's mainly to bring it into attention for people. I think it's always there. Mental health problems are always there, but it's not something which everybody talks about. Everybody wants to loudly talk about it. So this is an opportunity for people to bring that into attention to everybody, that there's a problem which is going on. There's something which has to have a spotlight on it at this time.
Gotcha.
So I think it should be every month should be a mental health awareness month.
Right. So now over the 30 years, have you noticed, so is there points in time when you see more of this or more of this? Are there trends, or is there certain situations? What brings about the idea of somebody suffering? For example, myself, I had a loss, I had a death. COVID brought on a lot of depression, a lot of isolation. So over the time, what have you seen? Where is the biggest emphasis of mental health that you've seen over the 30 years?
Well, the major psychiatric disorders, like schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, depression, major depression, those kind of things are pretty steady. It's almost the same prevalence all the time. Maybe it has the same thing in 1980s or 2020 or even through the pandemic. Those things are fairly steady. And it's like that all over the world. Schizophrenia is about 1% people have schizophrenia, and bipolar disorder will be about 3 or 4%. So that is pretty steady. The things which are changing, are mostly the depressive disorders, anxiety problems, those kind of things. That can change. And it changed quite a bit during the pandemic. Pandemic was a period where people didn't have that much opportunity to talk to other people. They were isolated, plus the anxiety about the illness and losing people. Many of the people died, the close relatives, parents, grandparents, all those things, especially brought on quite a bit of depression and anxiety. And also it was difficult to find somebody to talk to or get treatment to at that time, because many of the places were closed, people were not seeing them in person. Mm-hmm. So all those things, anxiety, depression, especially increased. And that's one situation, as you can say, that it quite a bit increased. Another issue which has been going on is the substance abuse issues. That has been a problem all along, has been, but that's also growing. The main drug is, of course, the alcohol. Alcohol abuse has been an issue, and marijuana. Even if it is legal now here in Michigan to use it, but it has its own problems. We are seeing quite more marijuana-related, psychosis. People getting, hearing voices, seeing things, those kind of things. Depressions. Marijuana-induced depression. So it's not a benign drug.
So you mean now that marijuana is legal, you're seeing more and more mental adjustments from smoking the weed now?
It has always been there. Marijuana was very commonly used drug. So it has always been causing problems. Now there is since it is legalized, there's a perception that it's a more benign drug, which it is not. It's long-term use can cause depression, especially if you start in teenage years, and if they smoke marijuana on a regular basis. It's a common cause for depression, especially in the early 20s. Then lack of motivation, that kind of things, and also in some people, it can cause psychosis, So we are seeing that more often, that psychotic part we are seeing, maybe because it's commonly used, more often used. Of course, the opiate crisis has been growing, that has been a major problem, people not getting help for it, or, suddenly that is a major issue also.
For more information about Michigan Behavioral Medicine, please visit their website at michigantms.com. They have 2 locations to serve you, one in Livonia and one in Troy.
Stay tuned for more of Ask the Messengers.
Well, welcome to the show, Barbara Santiago. It's so awesome to have you on this show today because you have such an amazing book. Your book is called My ASD, My Autism Sentiment Diary. Now, this is such an amazing book that I want you to talk about to the audience. First of all, just tell us a little bit about yourself, and then just share with the audience what your book is about.
First, I want to thank you for allowing me to have this opportunity to be on Ask the Messengers. As stated before, my name is Barbara Santiago. I'm also known as Barbie Santiago. My book, I am a creator, I am a writer, and I am a author of My ASD, My Autism Sentiment Diary. As a special needs parent, I always found it hard for what I do. I'm very transparent with myself. It's been a journey. It's been great, and I've learned a lot along the way, and I would be lying to you if I told you it was easy, but I get it done.
There you go. So that's what I want you to do. Be honest with the audience so they can kind of understand and they can relate to what it is that you're going through. So tell the audience, is that why you decided to write this book? Because of the things that you went through? And it's a diary. So what you're saying is that how long have you been writing in your diary to create this book?
Interesting. I've been writing my whole life. I've always loved writing. When I became a mother of my oldest, Marcus, the one who has cerebral palsy, I just wanted to have a diary just to have a core memory, just to remember my whole journey as a special needs parent. I started writing, and along the way, my computer zapped and I lost everything. And it discouraged me. It made me not want to write anymore. I just kind of just left it alone for a while. But I started journaling for my own mental health, for me just to be able to have that escape, you know, and let all those moments that I deal with every single day not consume me. So it was just my ways of reflecting, refocusing, and reinventing myself daily. So it just became just a daily regimen that I just started doing on my own, and took some time, and it became something over time after I started blogging.
So Barbie, I want you to tell the audience, how old are your children?
My oldest is 21 years old. My daughter just turned 18 in January, and my youngest is 11 years old.
And the two youngest are the ones with autism, right?
Correct.
Okay. Wow. So if you could just elaborate just a little bit on like your daily activities, or what is your day look like? Share with the audience what your day looks like and how you get through your day, each and every day, taking care of 3 children with special needs.
For years, I just was winging it. I had no idea what I was doing. And I realized I need a structure. I need a routine. And I didn't want to take my children away from the neurotypical things. I wanted them to have structure. I wanted them to have family, love, the discipline, everything that comes with raising any child. So what I did was I started a routine, and I stuck to it. Jadiel, my 11-year-old, he's had the same routine since he was 2. So it comes naturally to me. So what I've learned along the way is just to add tasks and different skills along the way. And instead of me just doing it all at once, I just kept building and building and building. It went from me being full-time to me fading out those prompts. And now my children are slowly becoming independent as they grow.
Tell us, Barbie, and tell the audience, what have you learned about yourself when you wrote your book?
That's interesting. I learned that I wasn't the only one going through these struggles.
Yes.
I learned also that I am human. I've learned that I used to beat myself up aiming for perfection. And I'm like, why? What am I going for? And once I learned to just be myself and just show myself gratitude for all the efforts that I put in, and me venting, because I did it for years. It came off like I was complaining. I'm like, no, honey, I'm venting. Venting and showing gratitude has given me balance in my life. So with that in hand, it's just been giving me, I do the same thing like any other parent. We work on affirmations, we work on boundaries, the respect, mental health. Even my children, I handle their mental health like it's my mental health. We all need that. It's hard. So we just work together as a team, and mental health to me is priority. There's still a child behind that diagnosis, and there's a human behind parenting and advocating, and and all the struggles. I mean, I have to be transparent from the beginning of it all. I just used to feel like a superhero because that's what everybody labeled me as. And I'm like, even superheroes get tired, so.
Yes. So what I would like for you to do right now, Barbie, looking straight into the camera. And I know that you could give some words of encouragement to someone that may be in the same situation or a similar situation with their children being autistic, cerebral palsy, or special needs. Give them a word of encouragement.
You matter. You were chosen for that lifestyle for a reason. You may not understand your purpose yet. You may not understand why it's hard, but you already have the skills in you. You just haven't activated them yet. And you also have the strength. And the strength comes from experience. And if you don't roll through the punches, you'll never know. Not everybody's prepared for a storm. And I found beauty in my chaos. And so can you. If you target your mental health and start acknowledging that you too need self-care, don't forget to take care of yourself during this journey, because whatever you're going through, your child's also going through. You're both going on two different journeys, but it's also the same journey. So it's just finding balance. Give yourself that credit where it's due, because I'm guilty of that. And I'm learning to find my own joy. And because of that, I look forward to the next day and the next day and the next day. It's my inner motivation. So it's my best word of advice. Always find the joy in your journey. Because if you end your day on a negative note, then that's how tomorrow will start. So one day at a time. Instead of one day at a time, in fact, it's one moment at a time. That's my motto. It's just a bad moment, not a bad day.
Oh, ooh, that is so powerful. Let me tell you, I have to write that down. Find joy in your journey.
Yes.
That is so powerful to me. But I just want to thank you so much for being on Ask the Messengers and coming on here and giving someone else some insight and some words of encouragement that they too can get through the day. They too can find joy in their journey.
Yes.
So your book can be found on Amazon.com, correct?
Yes, on Amazon.
Okay, Amazon, you guys pick up her book because it's an amazing book and it'll probably help you get through your day.
Well, that concludes this week's episode of Ask the Messengers. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you would like to help support our show, please feel free to make a donation of any kind by visiting our show website, www.askthemessengers.org. If you prefer to mail donations, please make check or money order payable to Ask the Messengers TV show and send it to 18400 Schaefer Highway, Detroit, Michigan 48235. Ask the Messengers is the program that deals with things that help you. Thank you for watching.